Snipers, you have to see what's happening in the cryptocurrency market today as the Bitcoin bulls have reclaimed the $38,000 support level, with Bitcoin heading towards the 200-day moving average on the daily chart, sitting right at 40,000 US dollars. And we saw weekend manipulation on Saturday and Sunday with this 2 daily candles closing below the 200-day moving average, exactly as we've been talking about for those tuned into the Snipers channel. And everyone's saying altcoin season is over, but look at what's happening to Ethereum, reclaiming the 65,000 Satoshi level, heading towards the previous weekly open at 77,000 Satoshis, with the Ethereum to US dollar price up over 25% today. For those inside of our premium Discord group, I sent out a signal for Ethereum at 1760 to enter into a long, and in less than 24 hours, we've hit all profit targets, over 30% profits. We also entered Bitcoin at 31,700. For those not in the Discord premium group, we are reopening this group for a short amount of time. The link is in the description below. But notice that now that Ethereum is showing strength, everyone's saying altcoin season is over, and I'm maintaining my thesis that until we get a confirmation, I don't believe altcoin season is over. Notice how Ethereum to the US dollar price up over 30% here since we came down and saw this low at 1760, where we took a trade. For those in the Discord, once again, if you're not, the link is in the description below. That's the best place for you guys to become better traders. And now we are above, back inside of this channel. Remember, I said anytime we're below this channel, it's a good time to long Ethereum, and we have this extremely bullish engulfing. I want to talk about what I'm expecting for the Ethereum price, and we'll look at what's happening to the total cryptocurrency market cap chart, because other altcoins are doing extremely well. Notice how Maker almost coming up to form new all-time highs on the BTC pairing. This is a altcoin that I talked about last week, and I said if we're in fundamentally sound altcoins, then we're going to be fine no matter what happens to Bitcoin. And that's exactly what we're seeing here with the total cryptocurrency market cap chart now coming to test home base here at the 20-week moving average. We are in an extremely critical area. This is going to allow the total cryptocurrency market to see a lot of volatility this week, because we've already reclaimed this 20-week moving average. The Trick, Trap, and Frustrate crew really did come in as we predicted yesterday, and they closed 2 daily candles here below the 200-day moving average. But now we're seeing Bitcoin's price coming back up on a Monday, exactly as we talked about, to test this 200-day moving average. And the biggest puzzle piece that everyone's talking about is, oh, altcoin season is over. Really? Well, that's why when we saw this dip and I entered all of my positions, I actually entered into all of my altcoins as a dollar cost average entry, and my altcoins are doing 10 times better than my Bitcoin position right now. And so altcoin season is certainly not over, and I'll tell you exactly why. Look how far we are from home base here at the 20-week moving average. If we're above the 20-week moving average, the trend is still bullish. Are we going to come down, retest this 20-week moving average? The 20-week moving average will start to come up, and are we going to see continued strength for altcoins? That doesn't mean Bitcoin will come down. Understand that we want to see the others' dominance levels rise up, because that allows more competition in the market and more coins to take up space in the market. So we have a lot to look at today, and that doesn't even include the DXY doing exactly as what we talked about yesterday, consolidating inside of that range, giving breathing room for the S&P 500 to get above the monthly open, seeing bullish continuation, confirming the environment is prime for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies right now. We have a lot to talk about today. You guys are watching the Snipers channel. Remember to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Let's see if we can hit 400 likes. We hit 300 yesterday. That would be amazing. First, I want to talk about exactly what's happening to Bitcoin. Just like we predicted, we saw weekend manipulation with these 2 daily candles on a Saturday and Sunday due to CME futures markets being closed. We always see manipulation on the weekend, but during the weekday, we've closed every daily candle at this 200-day moving average. And today we're seeing exactly what we want to see if we want to assume a rescue operation here at the weekly open, which is now sitting at 34,800. And this is a level we've had drawn out for over 3 months, and it's not a coincidence that the weekly open was exactly at this level. You guys know, watching the Snipers channel, for those tuned in, all of my levels are extremely important. And so now that we're seeing this Monday candle coming back up, we want to get above 40,000 US dollars. Now that's the first roadblock that we need to get through in order to assume bullish price action and continuation for Bitcoin. The previous weekly open is sitting at 42,500, just above 41,950. So I really like this scenario, because if we were to assume another long position, we could potentially wait for a confirmation above the previous weekly open, set our stop loss just at that 200-day moving average around that $40,000 big even at that 4% level. And then we already have up to 17% potential upside, potentially even coming up to the monthly open of 35%. If this was a long position, there is a very interesting week coming up for us. And so for those tuned to the Snipers channel, this is what I'm watching right now. First confirmation, we get above the 200-day moving average at 40,000. We really want to get above the previous weekly open. If we get above 42,500, I do believe there is a potential we'll test 50,000 again, because the $44,800 level is so close to that $41,950 area and the previous weekly open at 42,500 that it wouldn't be a problem for the bulls to get above this area. And the real gap comes here between 44,800 and 49,700, just below the $50,000 big even, because we've got about an over 10% gap there. So we want to get there. That's assuming about a 25% upside for Bitcoin. And at that point is when we can start assuming the more macro trend, because we don't know if this is going to come up and then come further down, or is this going to come up to the monthly open and get rejected there, or is it going to break through the monthly open to see new all-time highs? Those are all scenarios that are going to play out in the macro. But remember, everything develops from the smaller time frames into the larger time frames. And so when we look at the 4-hour chart, notice how we are coming up to retest this 50-period moving average on the 4-hour. We want to get above this level as soon as possible, because when Bitcoin was at 60,000 and we dropped, we've stayed below this major moving average. So we want to get above this. And that's going to be right around that $40,000 big even. Remember, that's where the 200-day moving average is sitting. So that's why the macro is so important, but everything develops from the smaller time frame. So first confirmation comes above this, because we're already in the channel between 38,000 and 41,950. I think that's very highly likely. And notice how, because there's resistance here, we could potentially see an inverse head and shoulder pattern here if we were to dive deep into Naeem's mind, which is sometimes a dangerous place. And if I were to try to project what is going to happen, of course, we never can predict the exact market structures that are going to develop, but that's why here on the Snipers channel, we keep things very basic: support and resistance levels, previous weekly opens, monthly opens. That's what we watch, and we only use indicators for confirmation. So potential inverse head and shoulder pattern on the 4-hour chart, I could see that happening. Bitcoin comes up, tests 42,500, the previous weekly open. We see a push back down to 38,000, and we continue further up. We don't want to get below the weekly open at this point. We know exactly where that weekly open is. We know this is a major level. Any candles below 34,800 assumes further downside. At this point, I don't believe we want to see any more price action below 35,000 US dollars. Really, it's 34,800 where the weekly open is and where the Snipers chart level is. And so any candles below that could open the door to 24,000. And so that's why this has been a very critical week, because these large gaps tend to get filled. And notice how with this Ethereum chart, what a perfect segue. We had a similar gap here from the $3,600 level all the way to 1980. And so when you break these major levels here, you start waiting for these daily confirmations, these 4-hour confirmations, you already know that you're playing a dangerous game. And so those larger gaps between support and resistance levels are really what we want to watch. But notice how with Ethereum, we are back above in the consolidation channel that has continued here since January of 2021, when altcoin season started and we started to see Ethereum's price really run up from the $400 level into the $2,000 level, and then of course topping out at 4,300. And so now that we're in this consolidation range, things are extremely safe and healthy for Ethereum. We came down, we became oversold. I told you guys, every time we come below this channel, it's a good time to long. That was certainly the case here. And so at this point, if we get above the monthly open at 2,750, I talked about that $2,800 level yesterday. In my opinion, we have a straight shot back to 3,650. So Ethereum could certainly be the more bullish asset. Remember, anytime above this channel, Ethereum has been overbought. And so inside this channel, it's still fine to get long positions in if you're swing trading and you're not leverage trading. But anytime we get above this channel, which is going to show confluence here and not a coincidence at the monthly open of 2750, I think that's when Ethereum becomes a little bit more risky. It becomes riskier to enter positions when it's overbought above this channel for now. So we want to monitor that monthly open here at 2750. We get above that, we see 3650, and we're looking at about a 30% upside if we get that confirmation at that monthly open. You can easily set a long position here at this monthly open and have a very nice stop loss here, 2 to 4%, and then you have almost 30% upside here with a 2% stop loss, and you're staying within the appropriate range to enter Ethereum if you're below this channel taking this long trade, and so that gives you a little bit more peace of mind. And so that could be a potential long trade that we take on our Discord. For those on the Discord, once again, the link is in the description below. For those aren't, we will be closing that soon. I will send a signal if we get confirmation above the monthly open. And if I'm awake, maybe our analysts are awake at that time. But you know we always take care of you guys. And when we look at the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart, we are back above the 65,000 Satoshi level. I talked about that happening yesterday. Everyone was scared because we closed and we came below 65,000 Satoshis, and everyone knew that that was the level I was watching. But I said on my video yesterday, this is a weekend candle. Are we going to see the Trick, Trap, and Frustrate crew take us back above? That's exactly what we're seeing here. So the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart looks extremely healthy. In my opinion, we're going to see more strength with Ethereum than Bitcoin if we maintain 65,000 Satoshis. We don't want to get below that level, but we really don't want to get below the weekly open now sitting at the 60,000 Satoshi level. So above 65,000, extremely bullish. Below 65,000, we start getting a little bit worried. Below 60,000, then Bitcoin becomes a stronger asset, in my opinion, for this short to medium term cycle that we're seeing. And to talk about cycles, notice here on the total cryptocurrency market cap chart, everyone's saying altcoin season is over. Here's what I'm saying. The fundamentally sound coins are always good investments, especially when we see a dip. And so I talked about MKR and Auto last week. Auto is still, dormant. However, MKR up over 30%. We actually saw from the bottom of this dip to the top right now over 90% upside, way stronger than any other coin in the market, at least when it comes to these fundamentally sound ones. I talked about the price to earnings ratio. When we look at makerburn.com, you can see here the S&P 500 is sitting at like a 40 PE, and we're sitting at 23.96 right now. When I told you guys to get into this, we were below 20. And so when you see a price to earnings like that on a fundamentally sound coin, the largest decentralized autonomous organization, which is going to be a huge factor in Web 3.0, these are the type of coins you want to be holding, and these are the type of coins you want to buy during the dip. And so congratulations to those that bought the dip. I know on the Discord, some of you guys were talking about buying MKR and making tons of profits. We have so many success stories here. So this guy, Master L, says, I bought MKR at 1.9K earlier when I saw you were talking about it. Thanks, man. Making money. So for those in the Discord, always making money. Once again, link is in the description below. And I want to first talk about what's happening to Bitcoin dominance here, and then we'll transition into traditional markets. So we know some altcoins are doing good. Bitcoin dominance, I don't see any signs of a reversal yet. We're below the weekly open. We turned around before testing this 50-day moving average. We're below the monthly open. So for the Bitcoin fanatics that are saying altcoin season is over, I don't see that happening. I see a garden variety market retest right now of an important level. We couldn't even get to 50% dominance yet. I still see downside here for Bitcoin dominance until we get any confirmations. Once again, I'm looking at the charts. Home base is far and away from current price action at the 20-week moving average for Bitcoin dominance. So I'm still expecting downside for Bitcoin dominance, and I am expecting upside for others dominance, regardless of if that's an unpopular opinion or not. And so others dominance is still doing very well. I would have concerns if we get below this major level here, which is going to show confluence with that 20-week moving average here real soon as we allow that to move towards that. But it takes time for these moving averages to move in. So let's look at traditional markets. This is exactly why I was so confident in my prediction over the last 2 weeks for Bitcoin as we started to see the capitulation. It's because the DXY is resting and calm, and that's a very nice environment for assets. And so because we're staying inside of this channel right now, and the DXY is not seeing abnormal activity, not too much volatility, that gives breathing room for other assets to start seeing continued price discovery. The S&P 500 back above the monthly open, extremely positive for the crypto market because we know the traditional markets have a massive effect on the cryptocurrency market, as we all saw in March 2020. So the fact that we're above now is very good. We look at gold here. Notice here how we are still just seeing a slow trend up. We could expect a very strong push to the upside here because we're now above not just home base at the 20-week moving average, but also above the 50-week moving average and the previous weekly open. So gold is doing very well. The gold to Bitcoin chart, the way that we predicted the top of Bitcoin here on the Snipers channel, at least, looking at Bitcoin against another hard asset didn't seem to be a bad idea now that we look back at it in hindsight, right? So we look at this, we're still heading towards this 2017 bottom. We want to continue to monitor this because that could be indicating a potential short-term top here for Bitcoin. Doesn't mean it's a top for the long term. Once again, with Bitcoin, now that we're starting to see this rescue operation in place, what we really want to do is get above this 200-day moving average at 40,000, break through 42,500, the previous weekly open. That's my confirmation that we'll see 50,000. If we get to 49,700, we either reject, we continue further. If we do, we go to the monthly open, we either reject or we continue to new all-time highs. So very simple schematics. I appreciate each and one of you snipers watching our channel, and I want to give away one of my favorite books on investing, Principles by Ray Dalio, my favorite book on value investing. If you want to win this book, share this video and comment below. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you've yet to subscribe. Let's see. James Williams says, Ray Dalio, he say, I have some Bitcoin. Seminal moment. The circle has now been squared. Interesting, James. Send me a message on Instagram. The link is in the description below. I'd love to send one of you a book. Comment below, share this video. You'll have a chance to win. And Bitcoin Miami, June 4th to June 5th. I'm going to be there with a lot of my friends. Michael Saylor, Jack Dorsey, Tony Hawk will all be there. Be sure to attend if you want to educate yourself more in this space and get to know some of us. And June 4th to June 5th in Miami, I'll be there hosting a meet and greet. So I'd love to see some of you at Bitcoin Miami, June 4th to June 5th. And with that, if you guys haven't followed our social media pages, we do have a TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. The link is in the description below. For those not in the Discord, feel free to join if you guys want those signals. Whenever we're overbought, oversold, I know. And so I send those signals out. We have a team of analysts. The link is in the description below. Check out my personal social pages. And with that, I appreciate each and every one of you snipers. Until next time, snipers out.